Big news this morning, Base has officially announced that they are launching a network token. You might be curious, what does this even mean? Well, first off, you have to understand Base. Base is an L2 built off of Ethereum, founded by Coinbase. Arguably the biggest L2 chain on Ethereum, as Ethereum holds number 1 in terms of TVL, but look at who's on the sweet number 6 spot, and that's none other than Base with close to $5 billion locked. They conduct over 1.2 billion in DEX volume on the daily, and they capture a stablecoin market of over $4 billion. For context, Tether does over 160 billion. So this is just a fraction of that, but that may be changing with the launch of the Base token. On this channel, we talk about Aerodrome quite a bit. As you can see here, it is the number 1 DEX in terms of the Base ecosystem. Morpho and Aave are more lending platforms. Aerodrome many thought were a proxy into Base because Base never announced or confirmed their own Base token until today. Airdrome holders were frightened, but not anymore. They had a 10% up upon the news because a lot of people believe that the airdrop, if there is an airdrop for Base, will be given to the Airdrome users. More importantly, what does this mean for Base as they do their TGE, their token generation event? Many people think, experts predict, experts being my friends, that this will be a top 20 token upon launch, which of course, like coins, part of the top 20, I don't even know why they do nothing. Personally, I think they cracked the top 10. They are the number 6 in terms of all DeFi TVL, even ahead of Hyperliquid, which by some meaningful metrics mean that they should be in the top 10. If you know how to get in on this pre-TGE, please let me know. This is going to be a banger token launch. In other news, we are in the greed side of the Fear and Greed Index, and I'm going to show you more news on why that is at the end of the video. I mean, this could show some of the greed right here. Gemini, one of the top US crypto exchanges, soars with their IPO listing. This is important because crypto and traditional finances has been blending together all of 2025, but it's still early innings. 2026 is when all stocks will come on chain, but there's still chances to get in on these early opportunities. Can you believe it? We're early, not for crypto, but for crypto stocks. Let me show you how to win. See, this just came out last week. Top price $40, right? No. Because I taught our community how to get in at $28 a share through pre-IPO platforms like Robinhood and or SoFi, give it to you at the $28 pre-IPO share. And it came out and I sold it for $43.63. And I got these shares through multiple platforms. So I got hundreds of shares. I sold them all. Let me tell you, it wasn't a bad day at all. With this new administration, IPOs are back and roaring. Money is moving and opportunities are flowing for us to capitalize. And that's why we are on the greed side of the index. In other big news, which I think is big news, Tether reviewed a USAT. That's right, a USA based stablecoin. Let me tell you, I just love the name. Playing off our patriotism, and I like it. I would want to own some USAT now, Tether. Now, they have a market capitalization, like I mentioned, 169 billion. So Base's $4 billion is quite far from Tether, but it doesn't mean that Base cannot come out with their own USA-based stablecoin and steal the lead, as Base is native to America, started by Coinbase, a true US stablecoin, as is many other US stablecoins. Tether is just trying to play proxy here and get some market share and win the USA markets, as they already have the global market lead. More stablecoin news, Native Market wins the race for Hyperliquid stablecoin. So this is called USDH, and there was a mad race for this over the weekend. We're talking about PayPal, Venmo, Stripe, they all put in RFPs for this, but the one that won was Native Markets, which is backed by BlackRock. So go USA. Had to give a shout out to Hyper, as we caught this one before it popped off. And the reason we talk about all stablecoins, that just means that people are getting educated by the role of DeFi, or at least the traditional finance markets are, and they're learning how to play this game. Faster transmissions, lower cost fees. Basically, they're going to make more money. Soon, hopefully, you guys learn, the retail learn how to get in on this and make some sweet yield. I'm talking about 17% on stables, and you don't know how to do that, you are late to the game. And the reason Ethereum hasn't popped off, even though it sees all the stablecoin supply, is because all this is on L2s. Let's take a look. USDT, USDC, USD Ethena, DAI, USDS, and 17 others. Now with Base launching our own network token, let's see how Ethereum reacts. And in the easiest play of the year, I believe Solana, which is copying the Bitcoin and Ethereum treasury asset play, has executed on the deployment of close to $1.5 billion worth of Solana. Bitcoin and Ethereum both has hit their all-time high, with Solana waiting on deck. We'll most likely see that before the end of the year, but not financial advice. But what else is on Solana? Pump. And you know what else is pumping on Solana? Live streaming, which I'll get into in a second. but the Pump token jumped a 2x from when we made this call a month ago and last week. So Pump are doing some great things. They're paying out millions of dollars to streamers. There is a coin called Streamer, which is specifically for tipping creators that are doing live streams. Think of Kai Kinet or iShowSpeed. And what happened was that Kai Kinet wore a Streamer Coin t-shirt because Streamer Coin tipped him the most on his live stream, ones that he does on days on end, 24/7, and the coin popped up to $35 million. We notably saw this at $700,000, $7 million made a call to community, and it's still popping up from here. Where's it going to go from here? That's going to be an interesting notion to see if this meta holds for more than a week. Lastly, on the far right side of the curve, NFTs are popping up because there are NFT strategy companies, just like Bitcoin treasury companies and Solana treasury companies and Ethereum treasury companies. Now there's one buying punks. That doesn't mean that NFTs are full blown back, but there is a lot of movement. Join us down below. We talked about the Gemini IPO before it happened. We talked about Streamer before it happened. We talked about Pump token before it happened. So definitely see what we're buying and selling on a daily. Regardless, subscribe and follow along as we have many updates throughout the week. Podcasts, market updates, rundowns, you name it. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.